Good morning once again to Koiki Media, bringing the world closer to your doorsteps. In the 14th day of the month of December, as we continue to tell us all the reasons in the world why Nigeria is no longer a safe place, let us hear the experience of one of our uncle on his journey to Nigeria. I say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to Koiki Media.
Koiki Media, we're bringing the world closer to your doorstep.
Koiki Media, Koiki Media, Koiki Media, we bringing the world closer to your doorstep. Koiki Media, Koiki Media, Koiki Media, we bringing the world closer to your doorstep. I was a Lara Baida, àwa ló láṣà àti èdè, ìgbéde lárugẹ nílẹ̀ Oòduà, àwa gangan ni bàbá. Koiki Media, Koiki Media, Koiki Media, we bringing the world closer to your doorstep. They never sabi wetin we carry for her, but e dey move closer before dem go sabi. I said they never know wetin we carry for body, but e dey move closer before dem go sabi.
Restart. What happened there?
Ṣiṣẹ́ fún ìlú bàbá wa, kájùmọ̀ sowọ́pọ̀ ká lè kó dúdú àga. Odùduwà kò bá lè gbé wá. Ọmọ Odùduwà ṣègìrì. Ẹ dìde fún ẹ̀tọ́ adúláwọ̀. Ká lè jọ jùmọ̀ gbé délẹ̀ ìlérí. Ká wálé bá ògo ilẹ̀ wa. Ká ṣiṣẹ́ ká lè jọ gbàdé. Ká lè gbàdé adé adúláwọ̀. Àwa ni mọ̀lẹ́ tí yóò tàn káàkiri. Ìyàwó Odùduwà ni wá. Koiki Media, àwa là ń gbé tó lárugẹ. Ètò tó gbójú owó tiwa mọ̀ ní. Kásá. Ẹgbẹ́ polówó ọjà wa kájé bùgbà yín jẹ. Ètò tó gbójú owó tiwa mọ̀ ní. À ń gbé tó lárugẹ, à ń gbàsà lárugẹ. Ètò tó gbójú owó tiwa mọ̀ ní. News and sports, ẹ máa rí gbọ́. Ètò tó gbójú owó tiwa mọ̀ ní. Ọmọ Ìjẹ̀bú alárẹ̀ mi ló ní kí n máa ké tata. Koiki Media, ọ̀rọ̀ lágbájúmọ̀ mi o. Máa bá ṣẹ̀rẹ̀ lọ. Ọmọ Yorùbá nìyẹn, ọmọ Yorùbá tata o. À ń gbádùn rẹ̀, ọmọ Ìjẹ̀bú alárẹ̀ mi. Ṣẹ́yìn ló máa fi dìbò tẹ̀ mọ́lẹ̀ o. Ẹ̀yin lọ́mọ onígbò máa ń dé mádémádé. Ẹ̀yin lọ́mọ onígbò máa wọ̀ máa wọ̀ máa wọ̀ o. Igbó máa wọ̀ gbàjọ́jì ò gbọ́dọ̀ wọ̀. Àjòjì tó bá wọ̀ bẹ̀ á tẹ̀lé ní bọ́ra. Ẹ̀yin lọ́ máa náwó kóyìnbó tó dé. Ìgbà tó yìnbó dé o, owó náà dẹ́ tún pọ̀ sí o. Koiki Media, ṣàwa ni bàbá. Koiki Media, àwọn ni bàbá. Koiki Media, àwọn ni bàbá. Àdáńtọ́, àtúnpèrè gidi. Koiki Media, àwọn ni bàbá. Àwa là ń gbé tò lárugẹ jẹ́ ká jọgbọ́ o. Koiki Media, àwọn ni bàbá. Àtúnjà fẹ́tọ̀ ilẹ̀ wa, fẹ́tọ̀ ilẹ̀ Yorùbá. Koiki Media, àwọn ni bàbá. Ọmọ Oòduà ni wá o, tọkàntọkàn. Koiki Media, àwọn ni bàbá. Ikú tó ṣe bí lébi òsì, àdìmú bàbá yọ. Koiki Media, àwọn ni bàbá. We bring you work closer to your doorstep. Koiki Media, àwọn ni bàbá. afẹ́fẹ́ tó ń fẹ́ o tó kàn kí oko lára ni. Àpèrègèdè Olódùmarè ló fún wa ṣe. Gbogbo ayé ẹ gbọ́, àwa ni bàbá o. Ẹ máa bọ̀ wá ẹgbẹ́ polówó ọjà yín wá o. Odùduwà la gbé dání, òtítọ́ la gbé dání. A kì í sọ̀dálẹ̀, a kì í sórí kẹta. A dúró tán, a tún pèrègèdè. Koiki Media, we bring you one closer to your doorstep. Koiki Media is around to give us latest. Is around to give us latest. Ladies and gentlemen, ẹ mú kalẹ̀ sílẹ̀, ẹ tẹ́tí ẹ gbọ́ ètò tó kojú gbogbo. Ladies and gentlemen, ẹ mú kalẹ̀ sílẹ̀, ẹ tẹ́tí ẹ gbọ́ ètò tó kojú gbogbo. Koiki Media is around to give us latest.
Mo kí gbogbo wa lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí ká tó tún play ti Olóyè Igboho. I'm sure many of us know these are a very, very important Yoruba man. Tẹ́ ẹ bá mọ̀ wọ́n, I want us to sit back because I will be telling you how he was almost killed in Nigeria. This is what Olóyè Igboho is fighting for. This is what Baba Akintoye is fighting for. I am here to present to us the encounter journey and how the Igbo people, Igbo Kwenu, thank you for saving our brother. Oh. Igbo Kwenu, we say thank you so much for saving this, our professor, a Yoruba man that was almost killed by the Nigerian Fulani terrorist police. He traveled to Nigeria. We are grateful that he's alive today. He would have been RIP. We love him. He's a professor in America. But before we go into the details, let us first listen to Igboho Sha, as we do all the time. My name is Olaomi Koiki. This program is live. When we say there is insecurity in Nigeria, it is not just inside the north, in the northern part of Nigeria. This happened in FESTAC in Lagos State. It would have been a dead man, but we are grateful he's alive. Those of you in America, you know, they say, Koiki, shut up. Koiki, shut up. You and Igboho, wala yin ti pọ̀jù. Ìwọ àti Baba Akintoye. Ó fẹ́ tó kàn wọ́n náà, mò ń bọ̀. My name is Olaomi Koiki. Ẹ dá gbọ́ Igboho ṣá, gbóhùn sókè Igboho.
Wáyé, má ṣe pé o.
Irọ́, ó ti lọ sẹ́yìn. Oh my Lord, Oya padà sẹ́yìn. Professor Moyo Okediji, presently in Nigeria, for whatever reason, just as many of us sneak in, sneak out, but he was there. He has a right to be in Nigeria. He's a Nigerian, but a Yoruba man. But they almost kill him in Nigeria for us. What happened? How did he become one of those that would have said, may Nigeria not happen to us? But one thing is, we are grateful to those that are living in FESTAC, the Igbo people, Igbo Kwenu. Anytime I say, Emi ati Biafra lepabi sugar, some of you, yeah, they might have their own issue, but do you know that they saved this man? He would have been dead, or they would have taken him and say, we found something in him, just like they say they found something in Igbo's house, and they found nothing. It's all lies. Thank you so much. Especially those of you going home. This Christmas, you better be careful. Oh, no. Let's go back. No, we start it all over again. Yeah, ọjọ́ òní ọjọ́ tó lápẹ̀rẹ̀ gidi ni ọmọ Yorùbá jókòó sí ẹgbẹ́ ẹni kẹjọ́ kò sí láàárọ̀ yìí wọ́n ṣe máa pa bàbá wa náà nìyẹn àwọn Yorùbá yọ̀ wá ní kí ló lọ ṣe Nàìjíríà gan a sọ fún pé Nàìjíríà safe.
Sunday ọmọ Adéyẹmọ Ìgbòho ṣàṣẹ́bẹ̀ lọ wà.
Ibẹ̀ ló wà ó ń gbọ́ yín.
Ọjà máa dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Olódùmarè ọba òkúri.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
Tó o bá ti dàbí wèrè kọjú òní ó tó pé ń tọ́ kí lọ fẹ́ wà láàrin àwọn ọmọ adarí mú gan. Tàbí tó o bá ti dàbí gé ọmọ láàrin ìpẹ́ kí lọ máa ṣẹ̀dá òfin irọ́.
Sunday o.
Ọjà máa dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ alágbẹ̀dẹ àyànmọ́ ọba tó fi ọ́ dára tó dùn. Ọmọ Adéyẹmọ o, ìwọ náà kọ́ Olódùmarè ọba ní kí ọ lárugẹ.
Sunday o.
Sunday o.
Gbogbo tó ń sọ ló ń ṣẹlẹ̀ lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ báyìí Ìgbòho.
Ọ̀sẹ̀ rúbà wọn ọjà wọn láyà wọn ò lè mí
Orí wọn pa wá wọ́n jí wa gbé.
Ìgbà òru ní èyẹ dànù. Adéyẹmọ sọ pé àwọn ọba tiẹ̀ ọmọ
ọkọ ló máa wà lè.
Ìwọ náà bí bàbá dojú dé
àná. Ìyàn fọmọ́lẹ̀ ni.
Bí àbá ṣe sí ẹja sọ kí ni bẹ nínú
ọ̀gá ọmọ Adéyẹmọ ti dùn
bí ọ̀pani kọ́ pani bí ọ̀pani kó yé dún mọ̀húrú.
Ẹ dẹ́rù bà wá.
Sunday ọmọ Adéyẹmọ ó ti di bí àlọ́ yìí. Yé ọmọbẹ́mọ ewé kókò
mo kí yàrá Grace oníṣòótọ́.
tó bá fẹ́ fọ̀yà kọ́ máa fọ̀yà.
Ẹ jẹ́ kó fàyà.
Sàǹgbọ́rọ̀ máa fọ́ kú ẹni bá wọ bẹ́ ọmọ Adéyẹmọ ti di bí àlọ́ yìí.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni. Ìgbòho ṣà yé orí ẹ o. Ọmọ ìrọ̀lẹ́ àtà ni ẹ ọmọ ọkọ ni ọ ṣeun. Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
Ìwọ lọ pa Gàmbàrí nípa ìsìn. Sunday ọmọ Adéyẹmọ ọpa Gàmbàrí nípa ìsìn. Ọ̀pọ̀ Fúlàní ọgbẹ́ sọ́nà pọ̀ ya onítọ̀ ọmọ ìkókò.
Sunday o wọ́n ṣe ń sọ̀rọ̀ lọ́wọ́ náà bàbá.
Ọ̀yà bàbá rẹ lọ.
Oh no.
Ọmọ kẹlá ọlẹ́nilé mo sùn lẹ́ẹ̀kan ọmọ àjàtẹ̀yàn yìí kí mo dẹ́lu bọ́dà àárín òde wọ́n di méjì bá rẹ̀ ta àwọn di méjì bá rẹ̀ ti àgàdà yín ó di méjì bá rẹ̀ gbẹ̀ndínlógún ó kan ilà àárọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ ní kókó olè wa sàgàdà nínú bí àwọn rẹ̀ ọmọ gbẹ́jọ ọlọ́kọ̀ inú ìṣòwò àkọ́níṣẹ́ ọlọ́kọ̀ inú ìṣòwò ìgbàlẹ̀kẹ̀ ọmọ Adéyẹmọ.
Sunday o.
Sunday Ìgbòho sàmà.
Máa gbọ́.
Ògùn ní iná ni lógún o.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
Ògùn ló ní ilé àárọ̀ ògùn ni wọ́n fi jagun.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
Dẹ́gbọ́n jẹ́ bóògùn ọ̀yẹ́. Ẹjẹ́ anira wa lóògùn náà. Sunday ọmọ Adéyẹmọ Ìgbòho sà lónìí ilẹ̀ Yorùbá.
Gbòmìnira kalẹ̀ bá save round kò fẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ báyìí kọ́ má bàa pa wọ́n dànù fún wa. Àwọn Fúlàní fẹ́ pa wọ́n fẹ́ pa wọ́n.
Dákun mọ́rin làwọn oníṣẹ́
ìmọ́lẹ̀ Yorùbá ló kí ẹ̀
orí kálukú ló gbé ọdẹ́kò tó dùn. Wọ́n á máa gbọ́ o gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá tàtà ń tẹ́wá lóye ẹja fọwọ́pọ̀ ká gbé ẹni tó lúwa ká gbé lárugẹ gidi ni.
Èmi jù ẹ lọ ìwọ jù ẹ
ẹjọ́ òròdò lọ
sí bá
méjì kọ́ o ẹni tó lúwa fi kárán ọ̀gẹ́tọ̀ sí ẹni tó àwọn Sunday ọmọ Adéyẹmọ ló kọ́ra tiwa akọni jagunjagun ọkùnrin tarrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrr kó máa fọwọ́ ara wọn ṣera wọn. Wọ́n ní kàkọ́ máa ṣọ́ra rẹ̀ nípò dáa. Ìmọ̀jọ́ 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 ìmọ̀jì. Ìmọ̀jọ́ 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 ìmọ̀jì. Ìmọ̀jọ́ 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 ìmọ̀jì. Ayé pọ̀ ní kó lọ́wọ́. Ọmọ bá kékeré tó kékeré ìdáhọ́. Ìyá máa gbẹ̀yìn agbẹ̀dẹ. Ìbátari ò ní gbúrú òdòkó tẹ̀. Máa gbọ́ àwọn bàbá rẹ tó ti wà níbùgbé ìdájọ́. Láwọn fọwọ́ tí ọ̀gẹ̀gẹ̀ ni. Àwọn alágbára jagun tí wọ́n ti jagun ṣáájú ilẹ̀ Yorùbá. Wọ́n mọ fi ọ̀tí ọ̀gẹ̀gẹ̀ ni. Oòduà Ọlọ́fin Ọbàtálá àwọn àjàká àjàngàtíẹ̀lẹ̀ ẹ̀fọ́fẹ́rí anáfọ́kúnlá òun lẹ̀ mẹ́rú ọmọdékùnrin sábà aborílá aboríkòkò alùpùpù
Ṣàngó. Sunday ọmọdé ẹ mọ̀ ìtò ń sọ náà ló ń ṣẹlẹ̀ lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ báyìí. Ibo ló ti ní gbẹ̀tugbẹ̀tu tiẹ̀. Bẹ́ẹ̀ni security nílẹ̀ Yorùbá á ti wà problem. Ó ti di dókòrò. Ó máa kú ni. Máa gbọ́ o. Má bẹ̀rù ọ̀tẹ̀ mọ́. Gbogbo tó ń ṣe òun ló ń ṣẹlẹ̀ lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ tà ń rí báyìí.
Òòrí bí wọ́n ti ń wọṣọ àkísà. Máa gbọ́ o. Gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá àtàtà bá lóye. Àkọ́dà ayé ọgbọ́ ọmọ Adéyẹmọ ní ẹja fọwọ́ tì.
Wọ́n ní fọwọ́ tì.
Yìí débi tó lápẹ̀rẹ̀. Ẹja fọ tẹ́lẹ̀.
Ẹ fọ tẹ́lẹ̀.
Èmi ju
ẹgbẹ́ tó wà fún lóye òun ló ní kọ́kọ́rọ́ ẹ̀ mo sọ fún gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá. Mo kí ẹ easy.
Igi igbó sórí kọ̀ wọ́n dìgbẹ́. Ẹ̀rí ni àwọn àgbàlagbà. Wọ́n ní bí orí bá dúró tọrùn inú déyìn ọ̀tọ̀ọ̀tọ̀
bẹ́ẹ̀ ni
Sunday ọmọ Adéyẹmọ yéèrè máa bá ọjọ́ òní ọjọ́ burúkú lápẹ̀rẹ̀
ìwọ máa sọ̀rọ̀ olúkálùkù wọn lọ́wọ́ jáde lọ́wọ́ sọ pé báyìí ló ṣe ń ṣẹlẹ̀ sáwọn
má ṣe pé
ìmọ́lẹ̀ wọn náà dúró náà a sì ń padà bọ̀ ìmọ́lẹ̀ thank you àrọ̀ mọ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ni wọ́n kú bàbá yìí ní sọ ti pa nísìn àbábá ní RIP àbá tún sọ pé RIP ọlọ́run ní kó jẹ́ tiwọn bẹ́ẹ̀ àrọ̀rọ̀ máa rọ̀ mọ́ ó rẹ̀ ó ṣẹlẹ̀ àtúnpadàbọ̀ àti mọ̀ pé wọn náà ni akéwì ni kò pé méjì mo bẹ̀rù àbá ẹja lọ kántẹ́mù wa tá a bá ti kà tán àwa máa prepare láti tún máa múra lọ sí Star Radio mo kí gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí tẹ́ ẹ̀ bá mọ̀ bàbá wa yìí ẹ̀yin púpọ̀ ẹ lè máa mọ̀ wọ́n àwa tá à ń follow àwọn ọ̀jọ̀gbọ́n kan wà tọ́lọ́run ọba Elédùmarè tó fi jíǹkẹ́lẹ̀ Yorùbá irú ẹ̀ ni bàbá wa tí a fi tọ̀wọ̀tọ̀wọ̀ dárúkọ wa yìí bàbá dáadáa bàbá tó yẹ pé tẹ́ bá lọ sórí péjì wọn tẹ́ bá rí nǹkan máa ń jù sílẹ̀ tẹ́ bá ka átíkù wọn orí à máa wú pé ọmọ Yorùbá àtàtà làwọn eléyìí wọ́n lọ Nàìjíríà Ọlọ́run ló ní àbá tún máa sọ pé Nigeria has happened to Professor Moyo Okediji adúpẹ́ fọ́lọ́run ẹ jẹ́ ká play anthem wa ká tó máa tẹ̀síwájú mo ń padà bọ̀ Ọláyọmí Koiki Media bringing the world closer to your doorstep. Ìbàlẹ̀ ti máa gbọ́ kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀ a máa kà á nísìnyí àmọ́ ẹja àkọ́kọ́ gbọ́ ilé mò ń bọ̀. Orílẹ̀-èdè ẹ jẹ́ ká máa gbéga ìgbàgbọ́ ní àbúrò mi ìmọ́lẹ̀ Yorùbá kọ́lọ́ọ̀bẹ Elédùmarè kó tún jẹ́ kí ìmọ́lẹ̀ kó máa tàn káàkiri African Parrot mo kí ẹ bá máa kí àwọn ọmọ Oòduà nísàlẹ̀ ńbẹ Ọlọ́run àtúbọ̀ bá ń fún wọn lálàáfíà ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ọmọ Yorùbá sickness illness ó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ àmọ́ kò sọ́spítù kò dẹ̀ sírànlọ́wọ́ ìyẹn kọ́ la fẹ́ sọ a fẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ lórí security ilẹ̀ Yorùbá àwọn èèyàn máa ń rò pé tá a bá ń jáde tá à ń sọ̀rọ̀ wọ́n á ní ẹnu ọmọ yìí ti dùn jù bọ̀ láàárọ̀ yìí ẹnu tèmi kọ́lẹ̀ ti máa gbọ́ ẹnu bàbá wa Professor Moyo Okediji tí mo fi tọ̀wọ̀tọ̀wọ̀ dárúkọ a professor wọ́n rìnrìn àjò lọ Nàìjíríà Ọlọ́run ló ní àbátú máa ní RIP mò ń bọ̀ lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí mo ti parí ti gbowó délẹ̀ Ìgbòho ṣá gbóhùn sókè níbí fún mi.
ọmọ Ìbàràpá lápapọ̀ ẹ̀jẹ̀ adúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ àgbẹ̀ ọmọ Yorùbá lápapọ̀ tìlẹ̀ tó kọ ẹ̀mí àbọ̀ ẹ̀bá nǹkan ọmọ Adéyẹmọ Chief Sunday Adéyẹmọ Ìgbòho orúkọ ńlá tí ń jàmọ̀ láyà bí ẹ̀rá orúkọ tó ń dẹ̀rù bó lórúkọ gan-an ọmọ Yorùbá má sùn torí pé bùrà a kò lè fojú kégbodò láyé títa ríro lẹ̀dá ńkọlà wúrà tó máa dán alànà kọjá dandan ọ̀wọ́n irin ní má bẹ̀rẹ̀ wọ̀nà ẹ̀dá kan lè ṣì wá lọ́nà mọ́ ẹjẹ́ àfìmọ̀ṣọ kan ká lè débi re ẹjẹ́ àjọ gbárùkù ti Sunday Ìgbòho ṣá ọmọ Ìgbòho mọ̀rẹ́ nílùú Alágbàdo Òde ọmọ atapẹ̀tẹ̀ wọnú omi ọmọ gèdèlè wodò sànyà ìsànyà òrẹ́ràn bàbá yín láàrin ìdí omi kò sínú ká sí yín lẹ́nu ọmọ òkúta mẹ́ta òkè Ìgbòho ìkan ń ṣe yín ní dábọ̀dàbọ̀ ìkan ní mọ́ rọra ìkan tó kù nígbà tí wọ́n mọ̀ gbòó mọ̀ rẹ́ kí ló dé gbòó mọ̀ rẹ́ sí ọmọ òpópó sanran ìgbàgede gbòó sùn wọn láláìsí bẹ̀rẹ̀ wọ́n ní kó ní bẹ̀rẹ̀ ó máa kó bẹ̀rẹ̀ lọ ẹ̀sìn òní bímọ méjì ní gbòó mọ̀ rẹ́ bẹ́sìn bá bímọ méjì ní gbòó á fi kan pọkó sí amúkan yòókù bọ̀ sànyà àtúmúyà rẹ̀ tí ò lọ́rọ̀ gbọ́ á fi ṣẹ̀rù wálé wàrà mòjé ọmọ onílé ọ̀la àwọn àjòjì tó ń ṣe ségesège tán láwọn ò ní bomi kó sí mu wọn láwọn ò ní bomi sànyà wẹsẹ̀ ìgbà tójú kò fi rí ńkọ́ gbogbo wọn náà sáré bomi kó sí mu wọn sì bomi sànyà wẹsẹ̀ ọmọ abẹ́rẹ́ mẹ́ta òde ayé ọ̀kan ṣẹ́ ọ̀kan tẹ̀ ọ̀kan tó kù ní gbogbo ayé fi ránṣọ kiri gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá Sunday Igboho onírèlẹ̀ láéláé torí àbá lásán nìkan ń dá òkúta ò ṣe gbé fún wọn o ìmọ̀ràn lásán ni ti balùwẹ̀ kò pọ́sibú kó dòdò láyé ń bí ó kún díẹ̀ títọ́ domi láéláé ìtọ́ mi lè domi Sunday Igboho arógun má ti bí tó ń jà fẹ́tọ̀ Yorùbá ní tilé tó kó ọmọ Ìbàràpá lápapọ̀ ẹ̀jẹ̀ adúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ àgé ọmọ Yorùbá lápapọ̀ tilé tó kó ẹ̀mí àbọ̀ ẹ̀bá nǹkan mọ Adéyẹmọ Chief Sunday Adéyẹmọ Ìgbòho orúkọ ńlá tí ń jámọ̀ láyà bí ara orúkọ tó ń dẹrù bó lórúkọ gan-an ọmọ Yorùbá ẹ má sùn o torí pé bùrà a kò lè fojú kégbodò láyé títa ríro lẹ̀ dá kọlà wúrà tó máa dán alànà kọjá dandan o ọ̀wọ́n ẹ̀yìn ní má bẹ̀rẹ̀ wọ̀nà ẹ̀dá kan lè ṣùgbọ́n ọ̀nà wọn ẹjẹ́ àfìmọ̀ṣọ kan ká lè débi re ẹjẹ́ àjọ gbárùkù ti Sunday Igboho ṣá ọmọ Igboho mọ̀rẹ́ nílùú alágbàdo òde ọmọ atapẹ̀tẹ̀ wọn ń omi ọmọ gèdèlè wodò sànyà ìsànyà ò rẹ́ràn bàbá yín láàrin ìdí omi kò sí náà ń kán sí yín lẹ́nu ọmọ òkúta mẹ́ta òkè gbòó ìkan ń ṣe yín ní dábọ̀dàbọ̀ ìkan ní mọ́ ọ̀rọ̀ra ìkan tó kù nígbà tí wọ́n mọ̀ gbòó mọ̀ rẹ́ kí ló dé gbòó mọ̀ rẹ́ sí ọmọ òpópó sanran ìgbàgede gbòó sùn wọn láláìsí bẹ̀rẹ̀ wọ́n ní kó ní bẹ̀rẹ̀ ó máa kó bẹ̀rẹ̀ lọ ẹ̀sìn òní bímọ méjì ní gbòó mọ̀ rẹ́ bẹ́sìn bá bímọ méjì ní gbòó á fi kan pọkó sí amúkan yòókù bọ̀ sànyà àbímúyà rẹ̀ tí ò lọ́rọ̀ gbọ́ á fi ṣẹ̀rù wálé wàrà mòjé ọmọ onílé ọ̀la àwọn àjòjì tó ń ṣe ségesège tán láwọn ò ní bomi kó sí mu wọn láwọn ò ní bomi sànyà wẹsẹ̀ ìgbà tójú kò fi rí ńkọ́ gbogbo wọn náà sáré bomi kó sí mu wọn sì bomi sànyà wẹsẹ̀ ọmọ abẹ́rẹ́ mẹ́ta òde ayé ọ̀kan ṣẹ́ ọ̀kan tẹ̀ ọ̀kan tó kù ní gbogbo ayé fi ránṣọ kiri gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá Sunday Igboho onírèlẹ̀ láéláé torí àbá lásán nìkan ń dá òkúta ò ṣe gbé fún wọn o ìmọ̀ràn lásán ni ti balùwẹ̀ kò pọ́sibú kó dòdò láyé ń bí ó kún díẹ̀ títọ́ domi láéláé ìtọ́ mi lè domi Sunday Igboho arógun má ti bí tó ń jà fẹ́tọ̀ Yorùbá ní tilé tó kó.
jẹ́ kọ́ mọ̀ tó ń sókè jẹ́ kọ́ mọ̀.
bọ́dá ìlànà àbá lẹ́ni blúkẹ́
jẹ́ kọ́ mọ̀ jẹ́ kọ́ mọ̀ you don see Igboho àbúrò tí mọ̀ ní tó ń pariwo sí ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ báyìí you don see Igboho pé mo ò gbọ́ sẹ́ẹ̀. Mo kí gbogbo alẹ́ kan sí. My attention was just called to this, our uncle, a grandfather as well, because what if bímọ àwọn ọmọ náà ti wá bí àwọn ọmọ. It would have been another case of a diaspora went to Nigeria and it could have been the same case like our uncle. Ẹ rántí, ó ṣèjọ pé 1 year, Mr. Gbenga Owolabi that was killed by the Fulani terrorists. À ń sọ fọ́mọ Yorùbá pé Nigeria is not safe. As at yesterday, the UK government is warning diaspora not to travel to 21 states in that shit-hole contraction you call Nigeria. They whine me, they play. Let me go straight because I need time. I'm going to be in the studio at 11 o'clock. So I'm going to go straight into the conversation this morning. And let me remind you, if you say, Koiki, it's not going to happen in Jesus' name, I pray as well that it doesn't even happen in Isheshe name. But when it happens, I will be here to talk about it. But we pray that life is still existing for this man. He would have been fine in Nigeria. To time constraint. This man called Professor Moyo Okediji, ẹni tó bá mọ̀ wọ́n ẹ lọ Google ẹ̀. I will first give us some background to what he does. He's a professor in one of the university in America. Just like many Nigerians, you travel home. We cannot tell you not to go home. He would have been fine. Well, what is Baba? But every day I come out, everybody is saying, shut up, blah, blah, blah. No problem. No problem. But let's first go on his Facebook page. Let me give you some kind of background so that you can have understanding. And what I'm about to read, it is not me that wrote it, okay? If I say make I thank Igbo people, Igbo kwenu, Professor say make I greet you now because I want to back Professor Sile. The Nigerian police would have kidnapped him and he would have been dead. But he say now Igbo kwen people wait for FESTAC. Now then save in life. No be me talking. In case you want to know about him, just type in Professor Moyo Okediji. Let me give you his background while I hold on to his picture like this. Professor Okediji is an art history professor. History professor in art. You know Baba Kitoye is an history when it comes to the whole of hair, the gegege. But this one is specialized in art. We, the Yorubas, we are so intelligent, we are so articulated, we can do and undo, we can leave the mountain, but we are being put down by this country they call Nigeria. This messed up country. A father cannot look after the children cannot even look after the father in the old age. Make una the wine me say Nigeria is going to work. He is an art professor at the University of Texas at Houston. Just like Baba Kitoye spent years in America until he relocated to Nigeria and movement. So that I pray not. He would have been dead in Nigeria. But we are grateful that he's alive. Because if when you are alive, that is when you will come and do a recount of what happened to you. Let me tell you, there's a lot happening in Nigeria. Before I talk about Professor, it's because Professor is a very important man. That is why we're talking about it. No! Yesterday, I got this voice message, but I picked it up very late because of the amount of messages that travel into my mobile phone. Someone sent me a message, and I'm just waiting for my phone to load and reload back so that I can play that so that it doesn't look like it is only big people we talk about. We also talk about the small people, where terrorists, where economy don't destroy their life, hospital don't allow them to chop, welfare, everything is happening. When we say support Koiki Media, support us so that we can go and be talking to the grassroots. Go and see the video that our boys are doing recently, going out there to speak to the average layman, not the one where they're telling you from the TV. Let's listen to this. This was something that was sent to me yesterday, but we thank God that this individual as well, they've been released. Let's listen to it like this.
Hello, Mr. Koiki, ẹ jọ̀ọ́. Fresh incident kan tó ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ ṣẹlẹ̀ inside the ìṣara yẹn wọ́n kidnap àwọn èèyàn mẹ́ta, bàbá àti ìyá àti ọmọ. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́ tẹ́ bá ní ẹni àǹfà àwọn èèyàn wa tó yẹ pọ́n lè help inside the ìṣara yẹn, or you can get back to me so that I can give you the full information, sir.
This was yesterday. But thank God that these ones, their mother was breastfeeding. So they thought that maybe God's Isheshe, whatever, what released Yayen. But later on, the message came that they've actually released everybody after paying ransom. Let's listen to the next audio.
Sir, wọ́n release ìyàwó àti ọmọ 9 years old lánàá fún wọn. Ọkọ àti àwọn yòókù sì wà bẹ́ẹ̀. Torí àwọn tán ṣe kínní, àwọn tán kidnap pọ̀. Wọ́n block road méjèèjì ọ̀nà yẹn. Wọ́n ṣe bí wọ́n wọ camouflage àwọn sójà.
Did you hear that?
So
Did you hear that? So when you see people dressed in military outfit, police outfit, these were the same set of people that were almost going to kill this professor in Nigeria, as he said it on his Facebook. But let's first listen to another one that was sent to me yesterday. But this one now, I think that they've been able to pay ransom and they've got out quickly. Support us. The details is there. First Bank 309-680-8848. Yeah, we need money. Without money, a media cannot operate. Media needs to have a lot of cash because sometimes that cash will help us to get the message out. So support us. Yes, donate. It's voluntary. Donate. Nothing is small, because if you want us to continue to propagate the movement, you will support the media to be able to do the job. Don't come and say, which kind, is it because you, no. Al Jazeera is funded by the government of Qatar. That is why you can go and witness Al Jazeera and think that I can beat Al Jazeera if I have the kind of cash that Al Jazeera have. I can beat them in the content of the videos and the program that we are doing. Let's listen to the final part before we talk about Professor One. Ọlọ́pàá gan ya dànù nígbà tí wọ́n rí àwọn bàbá Jágàmù AK-49 táwọn boys gbé dání. But they were all dressed in the military and police outfit. The question is, the police that stopped Professor Moyo Okediji, a professor of art history at the University of Houston, going to Ile-Ife for whatever project he wanted to do. He traveled by road from Ghana, Togo, Benin. When he got to Seme border going into Nigeria, they stole money from him. He first of all thought maybe that one is just a welcoming to Nigeria. He traveled by road. By the time he got to FESTAC to change to the next vehicle that would take him down to Ile-Ife, they wanted to take him into this custody. They said that they found a small boxer that have a military camouflage. After they've already dealt with him in the border, they whine me, Eyomo Yoruba, Nigeria is safe, it's free. Don't worry, Koiki, I can quickly go and I'll come back. I pray you do, but sometimes people don't return back. Let's continue with this.
Because it be checking point you want to not operate.
Did you hear that? This one were even operating. Can we now say that it's between the police? This one is not Professor One. This one is another one from yesterday. I am just trying to say that it is not because it's professor. That is why we're going to talk about it. I talk about everybody. It doesn't matter whether you are big, whether you are young, as long as what Igbo is fighting for is still reflecting to the reason why we say there's a danger in Yoruba land. That danger is not in the north anymore. The danger is around us now. It's facing us on a daily basis. Go to Ikere yesterday. There was a bullion van that was blown apart and the money was removed. Shootings periodically. Wema Bank. People were killed. People were injured. We cannot show you those images. We cannot post it on the Facebook. But that is why I said support us so that these kind of images we can then post it on our website. But we need a lot of money. Money is needed to fund media. We need money. Don't let anybody fool you that, hey, yes, I feel Bowoni because Al Jazeera CNN all this BBC we are the one funding BBC in this country. By April next year, I will have to pay £157 every year to fund BBC that is not talking about the Yoruba Nation struggle, the Yoruba Nation movement. They say we don't need money. And those of you that are funding and supporting us, please do not stop. We love you, we appreciate you, and we will never. I said I am the last man standing. Nobody will say I will not. I will be the last man standing because Yoruba Nation will happen in my lifetime. Bones, okay, my brother.
So I want camouflage flag. Soldier.
Okay.
20.
Okay.
Imagine lójú nínú ní orí ilẹ̀ wa.
Lórí ilẹ̀ wa.
Okay. Kọjá bẹ́ẹ̀. Wọ́n release ọmọ pẹ̀lú ìyá lánàá.
Lánàá.
Mo pé torí pé wọ́n mọ̀ pé lady yẹn ti ń wíìkì.
Ó ti ń wíìkì.
Tó ń breastfeed lọ́wọ́.
Ó sì tún breastfeed lọ́wọ́.
wọ́n release ẹ̀ wọ́n ló sọ pé òun ò lè rìn mọ́.
Kò lè rìn mọ́. You know these people, when they kidnap you, you will walk just like how they did with our uncle Kolobandro tàwọn ọmọ àti ìyàwó wọn ní Maryland, Mr. Gbenga Owolabi. The family are still in pain because he was killed by the same system. Let me move swiftly because of my time constraint. It's 14 minutes past. Let's go now. This one, there's a good update because they've released the husband, but they still have people there that they still kidnap. Go ahead, Mumbo.
My brother. Mẹ́wàá ń ṣẹlẹ̀. They have just been.
Níbo ló ti ń ṣẹlẹ̀? Mẹ́wàá ló ń ṣẹlẹ̀. Níbo ṣé ní London ló ti ń ṣẹlẹ̀? Ṣé l'Amẹ́ríkà ló ti ń ṣẹlẹ̀? Àbí ní shit hole country tó ń pè Nàìjíríà? Gbóhùn sókè.
Now. I just spoke with the victim now. Mẹ́wàá ṣẹlẹ̀ o.
Mẹ́wàá ṣẹlẹ̀.
Nǹkan ṣẹlẹ̀ nílẹ̀ Yorùbá.
Nǹkan tí ṣẹlẹ̀ o. Nǹkan kan ṣẹlẹ̀. Ìtí Ìgbòho ń pariwo fún nìyẹn pé nǹkan ṣẹlẹ̀ ó ń mí ó ń kàn. 1 million Fúlàní ò lè dá Ìgbòho dúró. Wọ́n bí wọn dá. 1 million Fúlàní wọ́n lè dáhùn nìkan dúró. Ọlọ́run ọba ló sọ bẹ́ẹ̀ ni. But èmi àti ẹ tá à ní gbẹ̀tugbẹ̀tu tá à ń sọ pé Jésù Kristi. Ọmọ, forget about that one o. AK-49 ò rí Jésù o. You can just be literally lucky by the grace. Gbenga Owolabi was a full-blown Christian. He was kidnapped and killed. If you listen to the audio, only uncle eba owo jáde. Ẹ̀jẹ̀ ò flow lára mi. Wọ́n má jẹ́ kẹ́jẹ̀ flow lára for 1 hour. Kò rò bí o máa survive. Gbóhùn sókè, kí ló ń ṣẹlẹ̀ nílẹ̀ Yorùbá? Ó ní mẹ́wàá ń ṣẹlẹ̀. Ó yá.
I just spoke with the victim now.
Okay.
Mẹ́wàá ṣẹlẹ̀ o.
Mẹ́wàá ṣẹlẹ̀.
Nǹkan ṣẹlẹ̀ nílẹ̀ Yorùbá. Kò eléyìí ò ń ṣeré rárá.
Ṣẹ́gbọ́n tó sọ, eléyìí ò kì í ṣeré rárá. If you think that is a joke, kò kí ń ṣeré rárá. You think that when we come, every pé mo níṣẹ́, every pé torí mo ń jáde lójoojúmọ́, this iṣẹ́ tó náà kan mẹ́mi nísìnyí yẹn. Tó bá jẹ́ pé mi náà lọ ń fọbọ́ láràárọ̀ nísìnyí, ṣé màá ráyè máa jókòó báyìí tí mo ti wà níbi tí mo ti máa gba abọ́ 10 pounds an hour tí máa fọbọ́. So tẹ́ bá rò pé níṣẹ́, it is because iṣẹ́ tèmi yàn ni mò ń ṣe lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ yìí. Iṣẹ́ tí ọba Elédùmarè yàn fún mi for now, òun ni pé máa sọ̀rọ̀, máa gbóhùn sókè, torí pé ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ yín kọ́lẹ̀ lè ṣe tá à ń ṣe. Mo kí easy dollar lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí. Kò ní ṣe gbogbo ilẹ̀ lè ṣe tá à ń ṣe. Ẹ fi ipò easy ni. Ẹ mọ iye attack tó ń wá fáwa náà, but adúpẹ́ fọ́lọ́, adúpẹ́ fún àwọn ìyá tó dúró tì wá, gbogbo ẹ̀yin abiyamọ gidi. Ẹ fi ipò easy ni. Pé bọ̀bọ̀ tó ń jáde lójoojúmọ́ ìta lòun. Ẹ gbórúkọ ẹ lọ sínú omi, ẹ gbórúkọ ẹ lọ sínú afẹ́fẹ́, ẹ ṣe dé fún ẹ ṣe. Mo sọ fún yín pé gbogbo yẹn àwáwí ni o. Mo ṣì ń bọ̀ lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí. Àìtí lọ sọ́dọ̀ ti professor, mo kàn ṣì ń prepare mind yín. Gbóhùn sókè lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí eléyìí tí fẹ́ tán.
Nílùú wa.
Nílùú wa. Nǹkan tí Ìgbòho sọ kọ́ nìyẹn. Ìgbòho ní nílùú wa wàhálà ti ṣẹlẹ̀. We are in danger. Danger yẹn náà, it has been affected many people. But Professor Moyo was also affected. He spoke out. Many respond. He's also saying, Igbo kwenu. Only come máa dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ àwọn ọmọ Igbo. They would have killed him in FESTAC, in Lagos State. This one will be Ekiti. This one will be Ondo State. They say Lagos is safe. I pray Lagos is safe for you and your family.
I have a life experience as in glory be to God.
Glory be to God. Now, let's go straight to what my uncle, I love him so much, and that is why we cannot hear something like this and sit back. I just read it this morning, and I went to cross-check, and it was exactly on his Facebook. So what I'm about to read now is coming from his Facebook. He's a well-read individual. And talk about professor. Professor ṣiṣẹ́ kékeré. Before you become a professor, kò ṣiṣẹ́ kékeré rárá. Lẹ́ẹ̀kan ṣiṣẹ́, bá wa pín ètò yìí, ó dà pé ẹ̀yin nìkan lẹ fẹ́ gbọ́ àbí. Ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà l'Amẹ́ríkà, ẹ bá ń pín fáwọn tó wà l'Amẹ́ríkà pé tẹ́ bá ń lọ sílé, ọmọ shine your eyes o. Ẹgbọ́n sókè. Oh yeah, let's read it quickly because of our time. It's going to take a bit of time, but it's not too long. It started, this was posted just 48 hours ago at exactly 3:19 p.m. I love to give date time to what I'm doing because the next generation will watch all this video and they will be talking about us and be appreciating the effort we put into this. Let's go into it. Igbo kwenu, Igbo kwenu, Igbo kwenu, Igbo kwenu. Without the intervention of a crowd of the young Igbo men who saved me from the claws of the Nigerian police attached to FESTAC Mile Two station, I would be a dead man today. Did you hear that? I understand that we have problem with the Igbos. I don't trust them, you don't trust them. But for now, we are on the same path. They want self-determination. We want self-determination. Let's push it together. Let's kick out of Nigeria and let everybody go and hold their station. If the Igbo wants to take Yoruba land, we will fight them to our last blood. I can tell you that. If they try it, we will fight them. But for now, we are fighting one common cause, which is the right to self-determination, and that right must be pushed. Does not mean that we don't have the bad end among them, likewise our own. And some of you will say, hey, Koiki, I like you, but these Biafra people, where you know they pali for weary, they would have killed your professor if not for the Igbo people that intervened in FESTAC. He said it with his mouth, not me. He said that we should give thank you to the Igbo people for saving his life, because we don't know whether it was a Yoruba policeman, whether it was a Fulani. We don't even know who is who in the Nigerian security anymore. President Bola Tinubu, it is your responsibility to make sure that you protect every Nigerian until the country will decide whether we want to remain one or not. It is your responsibility as the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Whether you support Yoruba Nation or not, you must protect every indigenous people that lives presently in that contraction you call Nigeria, because that is what you said you would do. I am talking to you, Bola Tinubu, the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Responsibility in here, I will be waiting for you in London because I have a lot of questions for you. I'm waiting for your state visit, when we will ask you questions. I won't use those my words that I would never use. I would have added that to it. They say at the play, Professor would have been a dead man. And I will be coming and say, RIP. This is what Igbo was avoiding. Dr. Borode was killed. He was also a professor. He was killed in Igogon. This one would have been killed in FESTAC, or they would have taken his body and even dumped it somewhere and nobody will know, because if policemen that say they are policemen and they are Fulani terrorists in the uniform, they would have moved him away and nobody would have even seen his dead body. We would have been shouting this morning. As at yesterday, we were talking about a 9-year-old boy that got missing in Lagos State. Continue to say that Lagos is safe. I pray that you will not be affected, just as I pray that I will not be affected. But the fact remains that Nigeria is in danger and we must talk about it. Insecurity is in Lagos State. The economy is making people to become criminals. I believe that the people that operate in Ikere, they are not Igbo, they are not Hausa, they are not Fulani. I'm sure that they are Yoruba people that shot sporadically and they kill innocent Yoruba people as well. Go to Ikere in Wema Bank and see what happened there. Let's go further. He said, I arrived in Lagos today. The same day he arrived in Lagos, he would have been a dead man. Somebody that lives in America. He has peaceful life. I follow him on his Facebook with his grandchildren. We would have been talking about, hey, you know, Nigeria, money. The joke. 10:22 a.m. Today is the 14th. Support us. Eba and account number sita. Eba and account number sita. Ke support wa. No. Sugar ni kima bere. Need the wabi. Iṣẹ́ tèmi gbà lélẹ̀ tí bá lọ ṣiṣẹ́ náà wàá máa sanwó fún mi, so mo dúpẹ́ fẹ́yìn tẹ́ ń sọ pé Koiki ó kéré ó pọ̀ ìwọ náà gbà máa fi ṣe responsibility tí àwa lè fún ẹ nìyẹn. Ẹ fèmí sílẹ̀ pẹ̀lú wọn, àwa máa gbóhùn síta, ẹ̀yin wà lábẹ́, ẹ̀yin máa bá wa comment, ẹ lè bá wa máa share. 82 ló ń wò, 32 ló like ẹ̀. Ṣé yẹn tún cost you anything? Ẹ bá wa like ẹ̀. It helps the algorithm. My platform has been shadow banned. That means that you will not see my job because this platform that talk the truth, they've shadow banned it. So it is your responsibility to share and also love and like and distribute the platform so that more people can see the job we're doing. My name is Olami Koiki Media. I came in through Ghana and decided to enter Nigeria by road. There's nothing wrong in that. Many European people do not go by air in this country. They travel by road. Sometimes I see some plate numbers. I'm sure when you in London, you'll be seeing that as well. You can drive from Europe into UK. There's nothing wrong in that. Why should it be a problem to go in from Ghana? Because some of you will start saying, airport. Why not? You can want to explore. You can want to see the landscape. I travel to Abuja by road, even though I know the risk. I'm talking about some years back. I will not try it again this time around. It's not worth it. I came through Ghana and decided to enter Nigeria by road. There's nothing wrong in that. There's nothing wrong in that. But the problem is that road is too dangerous. There's too many hyenas in the uniform calling themselves Nigerian military. They are not Nigerian military. They are Bororo terrorists in uniform. Let's go further. So I could see the lagoon, the landscape, riding inside a jeep that I have hired to drive me down. Nothing wrong in that. Many Yoruba people have done those journeys about 40, 30 years ago. He would not have understood that you cannot do those time journey again. And if you're going to do it, you have to understand the terrain, especially most of us that are coming back. They will know that you are JJC. If you arrive in Nigeria today, somebody will tell you that you just arrived. I remember some years back when my mom first went to Nigeria after so many years. I think she was going to come up on the bus stop somewhere in Surulere. But I couldn't change. And one sọ pé can you come well? You know, I mean, imagine saying ile gogoro wa. And maybe what you change the orúkọ bẹ̀ yẹn. Báwọn kan ṣe gba sí fún mọ́mísí mi nínú bọ́ọ̀sì yẹn. Ilé gogoro kan ló ń pè jáde. Ilé gogoro kan ló ń pè. Kíní kan ló ń pè. Ṣé iṣẹ́ ìdè láti ìlú òyìnbó ni? Mọ́mísí mi náà ṣẹ̀dé o. Kánò ni mò ń gbé wọn náà bájọ. Because mọ́mísí mi mọ̀ pé táwọn bá náà ṣẹ̀dé ni, they will know automatically that she just arrived. So mọ́mísí mi tó dẹ̀ pé intelligent woman ni. Ó ní no, Kánò là ń gbé. Aṣẹ̀dé sí Ṣèkó ni ọ̀nà àbájọ. Ìbí báyìí wọn. Instead of them to explain to her properly what tún jágbe mọ́ ìyá mi. That's about some years back ni mo sọ yo. I'm sure some of you have experienced that. So when you go home and you tell them say loud, people follow you back to back. I got a call from somebody yesterday. And you don't pay. There's so many criminals. I guess that person is not Yoruba. I guess it's Asen. And many people have been receiving the same call. It's an American number. He called me. Emma Benupe digress a little bit. He called me. I said, hello, who is this? He's asking me, who am I? He won't know with me now. One year, are you not Koiki? We know you before now. Money know you from where? Only there's going to be a Christmas meeting. Mona only Yahude. Money go and give it to your family. But she just phone down on here. Be careful. Any yawa. Then I want to be careful. Fraud starting for ni everywhere. Listen, Nino Nigeria. Criminals don't want to man rip any yawa. Tẹ́ bá ní owó tí ẹ fẹ́ tẹ́ invest, ẹ má ní kíyàn kan wá fún ní owó kankan. Ẹ má ṣe mistake. Wá wipe gbogbo savings yín. Ọlọ́mọ ìkẹ́lómi commit suicide. Ẹ̀yin ìyá wa ni mo bá sọ̀rọ̀ nísìn. Ẹ̀yin ìyá wa tẹ́ wà ní very old age. Tó yẹ pé ti ṣe wàhálà ní America, ní Europe, ní Nigeria. Táwọn ọmọ kan máa wá dé lọ́sọ̀kan, tó máa wipe. Àwọn ọmọ yẹn dájú owó kí àbí arúgbó níyàn. And like commander hypertension, let me cool down. I was very very, very careful. Do not by number fún yàn kan látorí fóònù yín kẹ́ wá mú fún wọn. Wọ́n máa override gbogbo fóònù yín, and that will be the end. Tẹ́ ẹ bá wà sure, ẹ béèrè lọ́wọ́ àwọn ọmọ yín nílé. Wá Jídé, èèyàn kan pè mí, ó náà fẹ́ ṣe meeting kan, ó wá ní kí n fóònù ní code. Ẹ lè má get èmi, ẹ ní àwọn ọmọ. Wọ́n máa wipe account yín dànù. Àwọn ọmọ tó wà lórí social media ní sàn ọmọ yóò kí àbí arúgbó nìyí o wá gba yín dànù ẹ máa kí n tún lo àwọn language yẹn mo pull it back. Let's go further. Bàbá wa ní àwọn wọlé through Ghana. Na there trouble start o. Trouble go sleep, younger go wake up. Trouble sleep, ẹ̀rọ tó rí fẹ́lá yẹn, younger go wake up. When we say that there is trouble in Nigeria, some of you say, there is no trouble, no. Koiki, you are exaggerating this. I have not been to Nigeria since, I don't know the last time I went anyway. But this man, our brother, our uncle, a grandfather, Professor Moyo Okediji, he just arrived in Nigeria. Say, Nadia, trouble starts. Let's go further because of my time. My first immigration checkpoint that we encountered was at Seme border on the Nigerian side. One of the immigration officers took a look at me and said, come down, John. Come down. This one will be America. I beg, come down. You say, I beg, come down there. Come down, come down there. Our bullet. To cut the long story short, they first robbed me of $500. $500. There were many of them. They invited me, more like they dragged me to their shed. All this shed where they did there. They are targeting the people that wants to go through Benin Republic to enter Nigeria. Many of you are planning that journey now. I know that. Don't tell us, but you are planning that journey. I won't go through the airport. Not that nothing is wrong with you at their airport, but you just want to go through Benin Republic. They are waiting for you. All these vultures, hyena in that borders, criminals. They took my hand luggage with all the money that I brought from the US. He didn't give us the estimate of what he bought, but I'm sure with Professor, they get money now. Even I read in the comment section, somebody said, Professor, give us your account, let's send money to you. Say, no, I'm still okay for now. You can tell, Professor get money now. You know what I know, a support for Italian. Their excuse was that they wanted to search it to see if it contained contraband. There's nothing wrong in that. It is the job of the security to make sure that they protect every Nigerian against influx of criminals. But these people only work in the southwest. Go to the north and see how they've left their borders open, porous borders. They asked for my Nigerian passport. I told them it had expired and I was in Nigeria to renew it. Did you hear that? Not that it doesn't have a Nigerian passport. So automatically they know that it's a Nigerian. It's just that the passport has expired. But that shit old country that care less about us, that doesn't respect anybody, whether you are Yoruba, whether you are Igbo, whether you are Muslim, whether you disagree with self-determination, whether you agree with it or not, whether you are a member of APC, whether you are PDP, whether you are Poshowore, a country that doesn't value human rights. It went further. They said it was an offense for me to enter the country with an expired passport. I'm not an immigration officer. I don't know that area. So I will leave that for you all to judge. He says he has an American passport. Whether he has a visa on that passport to enter Nigeria, I don't know. But for the fact that he said he has a Nigerian passport that is expired, they say that is an offense. I don't know. I know the immigration officer. Let's go further. He says, I apologize. That means he accepted that, well, I'm sorry. But they wanted none of that. Definitely. In that it is a way that you are apologetic. They will take advantage of that. I know them. They are criminals. It went further. They said I had to settle them. You know what that means? Oh yeah, young cousin konjade. You will see that bye. I'm not reading comment because I don't want to be distracted. There might be no for now. Because I'm very pressed with time. It says again, I apologize. But they wanted none of that. They said I had to settle them. Everybody know what that settle is. From the back. If that one way Kanu governor, Baba Riga, nobody go talk. But if not all these ordinary layman, they go, you know what I mean, settle. They said I have to settle them. They had my wallet containing money I brought to spend in Nigeria. And if somebody is owing your money, you would then have to negotiate. Somebody said, I drive from Belgium through Germany to Switzerland down to the France. Okay, it's not my thing. Somebody said you can enter in and out of West African countries as Nigeria or other West African country. But the question is, can he enter with an expired passport? Because he said he's travel with expired passport. We have to take it as he says. I'm not going to add, I'm not going to remove. That's why I said I'm not immigration. I don't know that area. Whether he should have applied for a Nigerian visa on his American passport, whether he thought, since I have an expired passport, I can enter. Can he enter Nigeria with an expired passport? That's the question. Like I said, me, I'm not an immigration officer. Even without a passport, people, they pass. But because he's coming from America now, and he looks different with his white beard, a big man, a professor of art. Go on his page and see some of the work that he's doing. Ẹ̀gbọ́n mi ṣe go on mo ti bèrè yín títí torí mo mọ̀ pé tẹ́ bá wà lórí platform máa fún mi lówó. Ìyẹn náà mo ṣe ń bèrè yín lẹ́nu ọjọ́ mẹ́ta. They send owó sí account mi gangan mo rí àláti yín, but mo ti rí àláti yín nísìn. Thanks for the super chat. I know you've been busy with work. I know it's Christmas time. Somebody even say he doesn't need a passport. Somebody say you can get travel document. Okay, but the question is he has traveled to Nigeria. We got to be factual about that without a well, he has a passport, according to him, but the passport has expired. So my question is, can he travel even into Nigeria, if not from the road, straight to the Nigerian airport with a passport that has expired? Those of us that are immigration that have experience, maybe you should tell me. So, but let's not, because of my time, and I still have to. Somebody said, yes, it can, because the new immigration law allow you to enter Nigeria with expired passport, but you will need to clear yourself. Okay, so that one are the one where they thank you, Mr. Man. So that one are the one where they collect, where they say settlement. Settlement. But the passport can be renewed also. That is probably what he wants to. Well, forget about. Let's leave it that way. He can renew it in embassy in America, but he's currently in Nigeria with the expired passport. And maybe he had the intention to renew it in Nigeria, because America, they don't get booklet. And in Nigeria, hey, and change, and it can be faster. I'm sure you all know what I'm talking about. Not that they don't do that in America. But let's move swiftly anyway, because of our time constraint. And reading the comment will slow things down. But thanks so much for all the, many of you that are responding to the, to the message. He went further. So now they've owed his passport, his wallet. And when they don't owe the wallet, money go there inside. They saw two $20 notes. That will probably flag that this one is an American or this one is a Canadian. These guys know who is who. If you have British pound, they know you're coming from UK. And they don't need people from African country, because they know say you don't get money. Now rice, now contraband, you won't bring. These guys will not bring a contraband. He'll probably have enough money. He doesn't need to bring contraband to Nigeria. But they know say the other ones, when they go to African countries, they want to bring contraband. Let's go further. When they saw the two $20 notes, and said, I needed to give them this note, because that one is going to give them more value. Otherwise, they will seize all the money in the wallet and take me to their office to make statement. That will become a dragging issue. So you'll probably say, you know what? Let me just let it go. Then he actually said, I have had stories of visitors to the country ending up dead when the police invite them to their office. He has not got to FESTAC yet. He's still within the Seme border. This, what I'm explaining now, is within the Seme border, but there's another encounter when he got to FESTAC. So this one is still going through the immigration, trying to get into the country. I'm sure you all understand what I'm saying. And those of you that are watching us, this is the image. For those of you on the TikTok, that is the uncle that is scrolling behind. And we pray for every Nigerian, but the fact is there's so much insecurity, and I expect Bola Tinubu, the president, to do something quickly. He says, I have had many stories of visitors that come to the country ending up dead when the police invite them to their office to clear some issue. So I eagerly gave them the $40 just to save his own. But then he says that when they gave me back my things. But when I counted my money later, almost $500 don't go. These guys are criminals. They don't care. As they don't take the wallet, they don't pass the wallet, somebody don't remove the money. I'm sure they've even counted the money. And for the fact that they were able to remove $500 from a wallet, that means that this uncle was probably carrying some kind of, anyway. But when I counted my money later, 500 was missing. What can he do? He move on. Then the jeep that drove him from Ghana has to return back. Then there's another vehicle that would then take him from FESTAC to Ile-Ife. That is where another problem started. And he went further to say, so the jeep drove me to FESTAC in my 2 motor park, where another driver I have hired to take me to Ile-Ife was waiting. My 2 suitcases were on the floor at the My 2 FESTAC car park in public, right under the large gate to FESTAC. I was narrating my ordeal in the hands of the immigration to my driver when 3 gun-toting police officers appeared. How those ones appeared, nobody knows. But as we all know, it could be coincidence. It could be whether somebody spotted him and said, look at this one, a fresh show. This one will get money. No, be like Nigerian where they suffer to buy MTN and Glow. Eventually, 3 other policemen encountered him. And when they did, what happened? This is where he says they carried some deadly looking AK-47. They wanted to see the content of my bag. Again, it is the right of the officer to stop you to see that whatever you are carrying is not human part, because we know that people move with human part. But what then happened is what is about to say that will have led to his death again. After he don't escape immigration at the Seme border, he's now talking about another incident the same day that took place right in FESTAC. So let's go further. Like I said, I can't read the comment, but I can see all the comment coming through because of the time. I have to be in the studio at 11 o'clock. They wanted to see the content of my bag. As they searched the bag, they came upon the money I have bought from US. Definitely another flag. It could be Yahoo Yahoo. You know, it could be anything. Police in Nigeria, when they see dollar, you could be anything. They don't like dollar. So let's go further. Then it says, I mean, I introduced myself to them as a professor at the University of Texas in Houston, police officer. We don't see dollar. Many Yahoo too that they represent as professor. I don't condone crime, but I'm sure you all know what I mean. So police officer doesn't want to even hear whether you're a professor in America because they know that you are probably even one of their agents that is bringing the money back, especially with the fraud that has been going on in Nigeria. So we are all going to be affected, even though if we are genuine, working hard Nigerians that have our own liquid cash. Police officer trust nobody. So he says, I introduced myself as a professor at the University of Texas. This is now in FESTAC car park as he's about to make his journey to Ile-Ife. Policemen stopped him, and this is his encounter. They asked for identification. I gave them my driver license, the university issue ID card, my US passport, and my Nigerian passport. That should have said to the police officer that this is not an average person, but again, because of the because of the problem we have in Nigeria, they don't know who is who, because anybody can forge any of this document. You can go to Oluwole and ask what used to happen there in Oluwole some years back. By that time, about 10 officers don't come and descended upon me. Right there, I'm sure people in the area will be watching, which is where he said we should thank the Igbo people because they saved his life, because the officer were going to take him away. Then they started to search my bag. They found that my suitcase contained personal item, my personal effect. But as you know, somebody coming from America, you know, like myself, if I'm going, I might probably have forgotten that I should not, if I'm coming to Nigeria, I should not carry something like this because it will flag that you're carrying a military camouflage material. So I think they saw a boxer that has a pattern of military whatever, and that actually flag as well. Even though we know it's just, camouflage. That is what Nigerian police will do. They started to search my bag. They found that my suitcase contained my personal effect. They were interested in the pair of shorts, which they said looked like a camouflage short. And that is not allowed in Nigeria. But again, we know it's just that they want something. They pull out the short. Then there was a sculpture that I made, which they said was juju. Go on this man page. You will see all the art, everything he does. He does a lot of things because he's an art professor. And if sometimes, when you are into culture, you will do things that you might look like voodoo. Maybe again, is voodoo a crime to carry in Nigeria? People, they carry Bible. People, they carry Quran. Why can't I carry my Isheshe with me? Again, because Nigeria does not value us as Yoruba people. Oje Kalima work Bante, and I'm working with it. As long as nobody said that I've used that Bante to beat them. How many people carry Bible and they are preaching on the Oshodi? They are preaching in FESTAC. They are preaching in Songo, and they are disturbing us in the bus, telling us about Bible and Quran. But because he's carrying something that looks like juju, they now say that I have to follow them to police station. That then probably flagged in that area. At this point, then a sizable crowd of 50 people had gathered. Those one are Igbo people. Say, what did they happen, Oga? Maybe some of them don't even know before. They don't know, Oga, what did happen? And those ones will have known that those police officers have done some kind of terrible things in the past. One of them, I'm going to move swiftly because it's 11:42 and I'm really, really pressed with time. One of them, with an obvious Igbo accent, said, you can see he's a professor now from abroad. You know, see, say this one a professor. This one not be professor from UK, from America, from Lagos. This one a professor. Somebody with Igbo accent said that to the police officer. Maybe that one will recollect their sense, but they don't care. You can see he's even a professor from abroad. He has given you several ID cards, including his passport. Waiting there concept, and you know Nigeria, he knows that they're gone. Before you know, crowd don't they, Mokia Tobi Milomo, the crowd started, coming through. What is going on there? It becomes something, more, and it went further. It was like a signal to the others who began shouting, you won't kill him, oh, you won't kill him, oh, you people are thief, oh, highway robber, oh. This is what he wrote. I'm just, adding my own into it. It can never happen, no, I don't see money, eyes don't open. Before you take him, just kill all of us. Right there, this is where sometimes people say, we are united like this, but in reality, we are so much hatred in us. But sometimes people can come out, even Hausa people can come and fight on your behalf, but that does not mean that we should not dissolve Nigeria. Don't use that as an excuse. But we appreciate the Igbo people. They formed a tight buffer zone between the police officer and me. So now we have gathering of people, 50 men. We said, for a year we go die. Now here we go all die. And I'm sure you know, when police officers start seeing that friction, they will panic as well, even with their gun, just as we saw during the NSAS, but they went and bring the military to finish the job. And they went further. Another say, we will not let you take him to the police station to kill him, like you have always killed international visitor. Right there, this our uncle would have been dead if they've moved him to the police station, because there will be no witness. They can even say he never arrived in Nigeria. Crazy country. The police officer saw they were clearly outnumbered by these Igbo motor park boys in FESTAC Mile 12, or Mile 2 rather. They threatened to shoot. These Igbo says stood their ground, daring the police officer to kill them. We go die here. You kill us, we go fight here. And that is why I said, for now, we might not agree with everything Igbo, but for those of us that are working to say that we want self-determination, I lepa with them. Nnamdi Kanu must be free, and we can say, sit down at home. Friday, don't travel to the southeast and let any governor to kill you. So this threatening says the Igbo guys stood their ground and daring the police officer to shoot. That is the difference between us and them. They don't face similar civil war before. That's why when we hear pow, everybody run. But Igbo people say, oh yeah, kilo shele. And that is why you can see that their movement is slightly different from ours. But we are doing our own with what they call Yoruba intellectual. By the time we kick the Nigeria like this, some of you will be saying, hey, I'm Yoruba niye. And that's why we say, God bless Igbo Wosha, the one voice that will speak and the whole Nigeria will hear. Let's go further at 11:46. Oh yeah, now they say, Shebi, you get AK-47. Kill us now, then you can take him. But you are not taking him if we are still alive. Thank you so much to our Igbo brothers that stood their ground. Biafra Super TV say, Igbo Biafra TV, they wanted that is dollar. Definitely, we all know that. They can take him to the station, take his dollar, dump his body inside Okedji, and the body will wash away. And the family in America will be crying. We thank God it did not happen. Nigeria did not happen to him. I got to move swiftly because I got to end the broadcast because we're going to start another one for the Star Radio. I was scared. Definitely, you know, it will get panic. But the people went there and say, we go all die here. We die here. Igbo people, we don't die here. I'm just adding my own. So the police officer slapped some of the Igbo guys near them, but their ring of protection around me did not break. It only got tighter as the guys were yelling and daring the officer. So the Igbo people were the ones surrounding this our uncle. Sometimes we might not agree with them, but on the journey of self-determination, kick Nigeria out because àwọn ní àyà tó le bí ti Ìgbòho náà ni. Ìgbòho ní àyà, ọ̀rẹ́ ni àyà mímọ́ ju ògùn lọ. Àyà mímọ́ tó bá ní àyà gidi. Àwọn ò ní kankan, but a ní àyà. In tó bá máa ṣẹlẹ̀ ló máa ṣẹlẹ̀. Then the police officer realized that the situation was clearly beyond what they envisaged. They had imagined I was alone and nobody would raise to my defense. The police officer who held my wallet and passport quickly handed it back to me, looking nervous. The Igbo boys started chanting, carrying my suitcase on their head, sometimes lifting the boxes above their head, like highly coveted trophy. The boys seemingly closed in on the police officer, ready to attack them on my protection. The police officer jumped into their vehicle, drove off to save their face, their tail curled behind their brooks. I recall the traumatic moment I left the country in 1992. I swear, if you see this God-forsaken country again, cut my neck off. He said he's not coming back to Nigeria. What if you professor? What if you are Remo? And to my number professor Eban Kiwakwe, Olayomi Koikin, as a dupe passing guru. He went further to say, if you see me, the last time he went to Nigeria was probably 1992. He said, if you see me in this God with the small G, God-forsaken country again, cut my neck off. There's so many countries around the world that he has not visited. Why Nigeria? He can send people in Nigeria to do whatever he needs to do. Professor Banjakitoye. Obviously, the country has fallen. I want to move swiftly now. Obviously, the country has fallen much lower since then and is now a danger zone in which men in uniform of all descriptions, immigration, custom officer, police vehicle, inspection officer, Others are wearing uniform, difficult to identify or define all the. This is what we have been saying. Many of them are putting on this uniform. We don't know who is who. Which kind is so booby diso? It says they've taken all over the country. It is a geographical zone best avoided if you can. Did you hear? Professor is saying it is a geographical zone best avoided if you can. But there's no way. Some of us will still have to go home for one reason or the other. But be careful when you go home because you might not see Igbo people around you all the time. But for the intervention of these Igbo boys, I could be locked up in the cell at my 2 FESTAC police now or dead and my body disposed of. Someone needs to do something now. Well, that is where Professor, me and you go fight. The thing will go happen is say, talent, networking, can put down Nigeria. Nothing can be done. Nobody can rectify it. Nobody can fix it. Someone needs to do something. Igbo is doing something. Babakito is doing something. Professor, you never actually something with your own knowledge. If they want to save the citizens of Nigeria from the law enforcement officer, the NSAS is still there. Nobody can save anybody. We got to save ourselves. From the law enforcement officer paid to protect the lives of the people, but jeopardizing the very existence of the citizens that took an oath to assist. God bless the Igbo boys. God bless the Igbo boys. God bless the Igbo boys. Even though he wrote it one, I have added my own to it. Who rescued me from the hands of the obvious police officer at the Mile Two FESTAC today, which was on the 12th of December. This one not be last year. This one not be storyteller. This happened to him. I believe he's still in Nigeria because this happened 48 hours ago. Moki our great solution to Moki when grandma. I am sure not all officers are bad. Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, I can agree with him on that. But how do we know which one is not bad and which one is bad? And it goes further to the last one. But those officers at my 2 FESTAC who attacked me for daring to return to Nigeria on a visit were evil, worse than maggot. Me, I will pack my stuff and flee to Ghana tomorrow. God bless Professor Moyo Okediji. Ẹni tó bá mọ̀ wọ́n, ẹ sọ fún wọn pé mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ wọn, mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ orí wọn, mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ gbogbo akitiyan tó ń ṣe, òun ló yọ wọ́n. Not everybody will come and tell you such thing. Thank you so much. We'll be back on the Star Radio UK. I got to end this because I don't want to link it to the Star Radio. Remember, I am Olayomi Koiki, the last man standing for the Yoruba nation. Bye for now.